Hi, y'all. I hope y'all are doing good. I hope y'all doing real good. You said this is going to be a Brian 2.0 and Black Bandits are going to have another 2-week cry. You know, they always crying. Listen, if bandits don't do nothing, they go shed some tears over something a white man done set up here and said. It's white zaddy. This is what it's giving. What it's given is when white zaddy speaks, black men start trembling in fear. That's what it's given. It's heavily given that. Okay, this thing, hold on, I gotta do one thing because they keep, this thing keeps going in and out of my computer. Give me one second. Okay. All right, now I got it. Now it probably will stop doing it. Okay. Yep, now it'll probably stop doing it. Now it'll probably stop. So we are here. I decided to grab Wiggy. Jasper is outside. Y'all, Jasper's birthday was on the 25th. Jasper's birthday was on the 25th. And so Jasper is now 2 years old. He is now two years old. Oh, thank you, Timmy. I appreciate that. You know, when I'm being petty for a drag, I gotta make sure I come a certain way to be petty. Did y'all see my thumbnail? I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but did y'all see the thumbnail? Hold on, let me go out of this and go into this and then put the thumbnail on there. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to put the thumbnail on the video. Okay. Okay, now we put it on there. So when we actually go live, then, or not when we go live, when we go public, then we'll be able to do what we need to do. So I just went on there to check something, but everything's good. I put my thumbnail on there. I don't know if y'all saw it when I scheduled the live, but that was me and ChatGPT being super petty. I want y'all to know that was me and ChatGPT being super petty with the thumbnail. Because I just decided that I wanted to be petty in this one. Just a little bit. Not super petty. Just a little bit petty. I'm looking for my my glasses here because I don't want to get a headache. I don't see them, but I'm just going to have to. I know they were just in here. I just saw them. I literally just saw them, but now I don't see them again. You said bandits go have to cope. Oh, y'all know, I want y'all to look at this one video that I found, though. There's a video that I found that I want y'all to see. Because this dude over here, this is a Brad.
S250 disconnected.
And Brad is emotional. He is. Brad is like super emotional based off of what's going on. And so, thank you, LH. And so I want to show y'all this video before we go live on YouTube because it's like a deconstructing patriarchy video, and a lot of men are deconstructing patriarchy just like some women are trying to. So I thought this was really interesting because this man here, he's being, well, first let me make sure it connected. Hold on, first let me make sure my thing connected. I just gotta make sure it connected. It said it did, but I don't want to assume it did because it be tripping. And just like I thought, it didn't really connect, even though it said it was connected. Now it's connected.
UING and LAPTOP FU56 and SS4.
Okay. But so this was just really interesting to me. This man who, he came on here, obviously, and he's really trying to voice his frustration with patriarchy and it's the negative impact it's had on men. Because Mercury retrograde got my laptop and wrote to, listen, all of my stuff been acting up. You know, Tam Leo, this whole thing, I can't keep the camera on, audio getting switched out, Patreon want to glitch out when I'm trying to upload the link. So yeah, it got my stuff acting up too. You have to get that blush packet from a makeup seller because it's not on the website anymore and I really wanted it. Oh, I hope they didn't discontinue it, but they sell Juvia's Place at Ulta too. And you can get it online. If it's not online, you can always look at Ulta or like any place that sells Juvia. It might be there, but I know Ulta is one of them to do. But yeah, that's a really good palette. I'm glad you got it. Definitely tenacious. I be in Ulta. I do. So he said, I know this is a long video, but I need to talk about some things that are very uncomfortable for me. Thank you in advance to anyone who listens. So I just want to let y'all listen to this because this video actually did strike me. It honestly did. It did. But let me ask y'all something. Again, y'all, please put a 1 in the chat box if you've watched episode 5 of Cross. I really just want to see. Let me see something. I need to pull up the chat box and I'm not seeing the live stream. Okay, here it is. All right. Let me go switch this out and go into this one. Go into this, and here it is. Okay, there we go. Wait, where am I? See, my chat box won't pull. Like, where's my chat box? This won't. Yeah, the retrograde to be retrograding. But I literally can't get the chat box. Okay, now I see the chat box. Okay. There we go. Okay, now I can look at it. Okay, so y'all haven't watched Cross. We'll talk about it later then. I'm asking about it because there's something specific in there that I wanted to see if y'all picked up on from episode 5. That's why I'm asking because see, it's like there's my camera off again. Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It was just showing that. Oh, okay. So this somehow stopped and didn't update the stream. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we will talk about it another time after y'all watch it because I want to give y'all time to watch it because there's something in there specifically that happened that I want to talk about and I want to see if y'all noticed it in there. Jasper is outside. He was harassing me all this morning, like literally meow screaming at me. Jasper was literally meow screaming at me to go outside. He was real loud too. He was real loud. And then V came over here to get my mom so she can go for a walk. And Jasper was harassing her too. You know, Courtney, I didn't know what to get Jasper for his birthday because the only thing cats want to do is eat treats. That's all Jasper want to do is eat treats. Like, they don't even want to eat their food. They want to eat treats. And Jasper, we don't, oh, I think I was supposed to do something with this. I'll work on this later. Y'all, do y'all get these little covers for your keys? Oh, I just want to show y'all this. So I got this little key cover for my car. Do y'all be getting these? Because this is the one I put on mine. And it comes with this little blingy thing here. The Hello Kitty head, I got it at TJ Maxx. I just like Hello Kitty. But do y'all be getting these for your keys? Yeah, I just wanted to put them on there. So I got that and the Hello Kitty head on there. Because I love me some Hello Kitty. I got this off of Amazon. This little key. Just to kind of gas your little thing up. It don't even cost a lot. Probably like $12 for the whole keychain, which the whole keychain is actually this. It's the whole chain. Minus my keys over here. This is like the whole chain though. I was trying to find a Hello Kitty keychain, which I thought I bought one. Let me see, because I thought I bought a Hello Kitty keychain. Oh, it looks, oh yeah, I did. Huh, that's weird, because it said it delivered my Hello Kitty keychain, but I don't see it. Like, my Hello Kitty, oh, is it in here? No. Oh, this might be my Hello Kitty keychain. Okay, let me look in here. Oh, it is. Look, we got her. It's big. Look. It's big and cute. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was, but this is the Hello Kitty keychain that came with it. Oh, I'm sorry, Maxita, that you're feeling horrible. Yeah, this is a big keychain. I'm gonna put it on here too. Put this little thing. It's so big. It's so big. Like it's really so big. So yeah, we'll do that. And I'll do that later. But yeah. So we gonna have to start public on YouTube. We gonna have to go public on YouTube after I show y'all this video because I really want to show y'all this video. I would like to see this type of awareness in Black men. Hang on, I gotta get it. Put it on here. Okay. But there are certain men coming out deconstructing patriarchy. And so look at this video. I just want y'all to see this video here. We'll listen to him.
And I wanted to say that going through this, I woke up super fucking emotional this morning. And I wanted to say that going through this unlearning, deconstructing journey, trying to deconstruct prescribed patriarchal masculinity and internalized misogyny is fucking heavy. It's fucking heavy. And there are days where it is just so overwhelming, you know? I'm 41 now, and you look back on a lifetime, you just look back on a lifetime of like a society that has just fucking imprinted on you so intensely and so deeply. And like growing up in an authoritarian patriarchal household with a father that was incapable of accountability and having nowhere to put your emotions, nowhere to put your feelings, constantly being wrong about everything, and just like, I don't know, man, fucking trying to fit into society as a guy, you know? You gotta be tough, you gotta be strong, you gotta like sports, you gotta work out, you gotta drink beer. And it's like, it's all fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit. I wake up every day with a back, like I have a high school football injury on my back that has ruined my fucking quality of life. I struggle to pick up my kids. I struggle to play with my kids. I've been to the chiropractor fucking 300 times. I've seen a back surgeon. Like, I'm in pain every day because of some sport I didn't want to fucking play in the first place, you know? And like, I became an alcoholic from all of the shit I went through in childhood. My nervous system was so fucking dysregulated by the time I was a young adult, that when I had my first drink, it fucking changed my life. It changed my life and I became a fucking alcoholic. I drank myself into the emergency room multiple times. Like drinking has almost killed me multiple times. I was in rehab by the age of 25 and I've ruined every relationship I've ever been in. You know, I'm finally I've been with my wife 10 years now. Prior to that, I was incapable of being in a relationship. I didn't know it. I was never the problem. It was always someone else's fault. I was fucking undateable. And just like when you start down this path and you're doing it honestly and you're doing it in an authentic way, it's gonna be fucking heavy. It's gonna be heavy and it's gonna hurt and you're gonna question a lot of shit. You know? I love my dad, but that motherfucker. I care for the guys that I grew up with, but those motherfuckers, you know, like, I look at my son now. I have a 3-month-old baby boy, and I can tell you that little boys are fucking innocent. They're good, they're pure. He's a kid, and it's like, why are we so fucked up? Why do men become so fucked up in life, you know?
Because of patriarchy.
And I've just always felt like I've had all these feelings and nowhere to fucking put them. Nobody wants to fucking listen to you. You know, like men are pushed to talk about their feelings, but why would we? Because no one fucking gives a shit about them. You know, I feel like the only person who's truly listened to me in my life and validated what I was feeling was a fucking therapist that I was paying $600 a month. You know? It's just like, I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm not. But it's just fucking hard. Can we stop? Can we please stop with all the tough guy bullshit in this country? Like, there is this narrative that softness equals weakness, and it's such bullshit. Some of the toughest men I have ever met in my life were capable of softness. We're capable of emotional intelligence. We're capable of talking about their feelings and holding space for other men when they needed to talk about their feelings. You know? Well, this tough guy bullshit has got to fucking stop. You know, there is a time and a place for being strong and being tough when it comes to protecting the people that we love in our life. I understand that those are male masculine traits that are necessary in life. I believe in them, but it's not who we are. It's not fucking who we are. Softness does not equal weakness, you know? And it's like these young boys, man, I look at this red pill bullshit and it's like these fucking kids don't stand a chance, man. None of them feel like it's okay to be soft. All of them are okay with blaming women for everything. And it's like, we have fucking lost the plot, man. I hope some of these kids get a better shakeout life than I did. You know, it's taken me 40 fucking years to come to this conclusion. God, I'm so fucking emotional. I don't know why this shit's so fucking hard, dude, but it's just like, men have to start holding space for other men. That's all I can say. If you're a man and you're fucking seeing this and it's triggering something in you and you feel like you've never had an opportunity to talk about how you fucking feel, message me, you know?
Details maker, did you just say Amazon play one last cry? Yeah, listen, here's the thing. The reason I'm playing with this because these are the men who, assuming this dude is being authentic, which he seems he is being authentic, but these are the men who are going to have to be encouraged to be pushed to the forefront to talk to other men about patriarchy. Because at the end of the day, this system doesn't benefit men. I mean, we went over on ChatGPT, literally, how even within a patriarchy, and we didn't need to really consult ChatGPT because we see that going on. Even in a patriarchy, men toe tag themselves more than women. Men are failing, even in a system set up and built for them. So clearly, this system doesn't work. But just like you have men who will come on here and make videos like what he's making, showing raw emotion and speaking out against patriarchy, you have women, and I know because I've seen it, women of all races, literally promoting patriarchy and saying, well, matriarchy is in a better system either. Like, so you have a lot of male identified women, patriarchy identified women who have settled into an inferior position in society, and they're just going to champion the very dynamic that has them enslaved. And that's because a lot of women are used to it. A lot of women are used to it. They don't really want to be, they don't want to be empowered at all. Don't want to. They don't want to. They're used to the system the way that it is, and they've become comfortable with it. They become comfortable because this is all they know. And even though it hurts, this is what they know. And people usually, even if something is dysfunctional, even if it's not good for them, even if it hurts them, they'll still go into it. They will. But what he's going through is what I had to go through during this journey. And parts of it I'm still going through with writing the book. With writing this book, anytime you're trying to delve into where your trauma came from, anytime you get into an awakening, it's not easy initially. Yeah, it's going to lead to better results, better states of mind. You know, he's talking about how screwed up his nervous system was, so it was probably always in a situation of fight or flight. I got this from Marshall's. Maxita, this is a Marshall's shirt. I'm trying to hear for Jasper. Oh, okay, no, that's people. Yeah, doing the shadow work, it is hard. It is very hard. It's very emotional. I do understand why a lot of people avoid it, but at the end of the day, it's something that literally has to be done. It has to be done. It literally has to be done because the society that we're in right now is not a good society. And it's like, that's why I was listening to a video earlier. It was by a Black woman who she was mentioning, and this is actually true, how unprotected children are, even in this society, how children are prey for these predatory men. Because did y'all see that video going around with the podcast dudes, the two men of no color, talking about when, let me see if I can find it for y'all. Let me see if I can find it. It's extremely inappropriate. Extremely inappropriate. So let me try to put it in here. I want to see if this. Okay, this is a video. The video. I want y'all to see it.
You hang out and hold your kid by yourself, you're gonna get hard.
Let me find the full video because these are people reacting to it.
Women, ladies.
And I know what I'm about to say to you. And I know that you're gonna go, what?
Okay, I think he got the beginning of the video too. Okay, I want y'all to listen to this because I know y'all probably already saw this. Like this clip is going around because of what's in it. So the video that I was watching was a reaction to that, not by this Black man. It wasn't this Black man's reaction, but just to listen to what they said.
I know what I'm about to say to you. And I know that you're gonna go, what? There's a lot of things people don't tell you about parenting, especially dads. A lot of people keep dads in the dark. Like the first time you hang out and hold your kid by yourself, you're gonna get hard.
We are seeing the same pattern with the Epstein files. Child PDF is a pattern.
I don't find this funny. I don't find it funny in the least. See, all of these are Stitch videos. I don't want the Stitch video. I want the actual video. But most of these are stitches. And I just want the regular videos. No. But y'all heard the gist of it. So you see how sick these men are? They're literally sick. And the thing of it is I do believe this has always been the mind of these males. This has always been their mindset. Predatory, exploitative, they don't really care about children. They'll hurt children just the same amount. Exclusive, you said you didn't hear it? Right. I wonder what all I know is he wouldn't be around my child. He wouldn't be around my child. I would take this video and I will be getting full and sole legal and physical custody of my kid. Let's do look at the comments. If my husband said this, I'd 100% be a widow. I know that's right. Did anyone notice that he emphasized by yourself? Right. So exactly. Where's Olivia Benson when you need her? This is what it's given. This is exactly what it's given. She said, mind you, no one forced them to admit this. The children are in danger. They are. They are. And apparently, whatever this spell is that's being on women, women were blind to how unprotected their children are. How unprotected. Like, I'm just going to assume men have been blind, women have been blind to how unprotected their children are. Some of them, I know they're not blind. They just don't protect children, especially for men, because they believe they should center men. But this is what happened when you center men. When you center men, these are the things that happened. Here, let me let y'all listen to it again. Because where is...
First time you hang out and hold your kid by yourself, you're gonna get hard.
What is that? I don't...
So I didn't know any better, so I just listened to it. And I'm holding my kid, and I'm like, got hard. And I was like, only gets hard when I watch other people hold their kids. First time you hang out and hold your kid by yourself, you're gonna get hard.
I'm failing to see the humor in this. Exactly. The way that video will be in family, exactly. Even joking like this.
So I didn't know any better, so I just listened to it. And I'm holding my kid, and I'm like,
This is a problem. This is a problem. This is not funny. And it's not just the two of these men. It's you can hear men in the background laughing. There are 0 men in here telling them, okay, you a weirdo. This is weirdo behavior. Like, what are you doing? Nobody's telling them that. These are men in here laughing. Right. They're literally relating and bonding to this. Exactly. And Tenacious D, that's how you know that he's not faking his emotion, because his whole face is turning red. Like, you already know when white people authentically show emotion. We already know when white people authentically show emotion. Okay, I'm putting this live on YouTube now. So this is disgusting. It literally just is disgusting. Completely and totally disgusting. And I think these men's hard drives need to be searched. Everything for them need to be searched. It just does. Like, they need to be looked into. How is this a joke? The dude in the back black shirt is wearing a born again Christian. It says born again Christian Dior. But still, this is a part of Christianity too. This is a part of Christianity. It absolutely is a part of Christianity. Absolutely, 100%. It is a part of Christianity. You said your mother was a cop. Draw your own conclusion. Okay. While we wait for people to come in on YouTube, while we wait for them, let me pause for a minute and go run and grab me some water. I want to just grab water and put it in here while people come in. While y'all come in, I'll just go get water and I'll be right back. Y'all hold on for a second. My leasing office is calling. Okay, so sorry about that, y'all. So they called my phone saying that Jasper's leash is too long. He's on a leash in front of the house. They're saying that it's too long. And so they're saying because it's too long, they're saying that it's a trip hazard and it's a violation of the lease. So I said, well, just send me the lease and highlight that part. And then if it says that, then I'll bring the lease in. Then I'll bring it in. But they're going to show me that this is what I have to do. Because I told them I'm not going to bring him in unless you show me that this is in the lease, which I'm not, and I'm not going to. I'm absolutely not going to. I'm not. But so yeah, that's what they were calling me for. They complaining about Jasper's leash. Yeah, that's what I told him. And he's like, oh, are you gonna bring him in? Yeah, when you email me. So he said he's gonna email it to me and highlight that part, and it better say it verbatim. That's what he don't understand. It better say they can't have to be on the short leash, or they can't have a leash on the sidewalk. It better say that verbatim, or we gonna have a legal issue. We go because I'm gonna send it to an attorney too. I'm gonna send it to an attorney and have them go over it and see. Because it's like, yeah, no, he can be on the leash. Sidewalk is public property. I would assume if an adult sees a leash, it's not an HOA. No, it's not an HOA. It's not. He said that people were complaining about it. I don't care. You're grown. Walk over the leash. Just walk over it. I don't care. I don't care. So he's going to prove to me that this is in the lease, or he's going to stop calling my phone. He's going to stop calling my phone. Well, he said people were complaining. And so we'll just go with fine. That's fine that people are complaining. It could have possibly been the neighbor because she's a Karen. And of course she wouldn't come say anything to me. She would likely go tattle. As you guys come in, if you could like the video, that would be great. Yeah, people in white language means one person. Yeah, and if I had to guess, it would be the neighbor, and she works in the office too. She works in the office, so I'm thinking it was her. But the bottom line is, he's either gonna show me this part in the lease, or he's not gonna call my phone. You said my leasing office was calling and complaining about my dog barking, but not about the other dogs barking day and night. Yeah, I ain't got time. Well, listen, they got the right one. They got the right one, because these are games that, okay, look, you want to play some games? We'll play them. We'll play them. Yeah, I'm thinking it's the Karen neighbor. I really, my spidey sense is saying it's the neighbor because she actually is over here, like she's right next to me, and she's like a who they really choose type lady. That's what she is. She's like a who they really choose type. It's one person complaining multiple times. Yeah, and I'm thinking it's her. But the bottom line is, I know for a fact that she wouldn't approach me. She's not gonna approach me and she's not going to, because they're passive aggressive. She's not going to come to me and say it. But it's like, if the thing is, if it's in the lease, then yeah. If it's in the lease, then will absolutely do it, because obviously I don't have a choice but to abide by the lease. But the problem is I have a copy of the lease. So yeah, and she don't have to. I'm probably gonna go over there and ask her. I am. I'm gonna go over there and ask her just to see if she's gonna lie. And I know she is. She's, of course, she gonna lie and say she did, of course. But I have no problem going over there and asking her, do you got these people calling me? Because you work in the office, so you could have came and said something. You said on the fire sign, I love confronting passive aggressive people. Yeah, we both do. Complaining about a leash you probably have to cross one time, right? And that they can simply walk over. And it's a very, very, very thin leash. Like, the cord is probably as thick as a phone cord, like your little phone USB cords. It's not even it's literally a very thin leash. Very thin. Very thin. Yeah, I don't like no coward. I don't either. So I'm gonna ask her if she did it. Because I think she did. I really do think she did. I absolutely 100% think she did. No, she ain't gonna tell the truth. She's not. Of course she ain't. Yeah, but attached to a cute kitty, like who complains about seeing cute kittens? They have kitty cafes. Yeah. Maga Kwan needs to get his white queen. It will more be like Maga Hernandez. There is a video out there of Pookie and two biracial females talking about you. I don't know what that means. Well, when he want to send that email over, then I'll go get the cat. Because I told him I'm not doing it. I'm not going to bring him in until you show me. Because he's like, oh, are you going to bring him in? No. I will once you send me that proof that I have to. Once you do that, I'll gladly bring him in. But anyway, until they do that, they go stay off my phone. Because, like, I don't play these games with people. And you go show me in the lease where it, and if it ain't in the lease, I'm going there and tell them, now I feel like y'all harassing me. Now I feel like you harassing me. They better hope it's in the lease verbatim. Because I'm gonna email them back and say, okay, I'll have my attorney look over this and let me know if this applies to that leash out there. If it doesn't, I'm gonna let them know we got a problem. Because now somebody over here targeting, and I'm thinking it's real ratio. Now it's looking real ratio. That's just what it's gonna be. So they better hope it's in this lease. They better hope it's in this lease. Because if it ain't in this lease, we gonna have a problem. We gonna have a real big problem. And I'm gonna let him know that too. If he calls my phone, if it don't say, because if this is in a contract, it has to explicitly state this. It has to explicitly state that you can only have a leash of a certain size, and it has to state the size, the length of the leash. This is what I know. This is what I know. You don't get to imply stuff in contracts. You literally have to detail it. You have to detail it. So if they telling me this is in the lease, then you damn well better highlight this part of the lease and you go send it to me. And if you don't, I'm going to walk into that office and I'm going to want to know why you were calling my phone and talking to me about something that wasn't in the lease. I'm going to need to know why that was happening. And then if it's not in the lease, I'm gonna need to know why you lied and said that it was in the lease. And it better be in there verbatim. And I told him, find me the part that verbatim says that the cat gotta be restricted in the house and they can't be on the leash in the front. Go ahead. Do it. I know it's not in the lease. I know it's not in the lease. I'm not going to tell them to cope. I'm going to tell them to prove it. If they don't prove it, then Houston, we got a problem. Now we got a problem. Because now I'm feeling like y'all harass me. Now I'm starting to not feel safe. Now it's the issue because you got somebody over here lying and saying stuff and complaining for no reason. Now it's a problem. Watch, I'm going to make it a big problem. They better hope it's in this lease because I'll make this a whole big problem. If it don't, it's a huge problem. But anyway, so we're gathered here today, ladies and gents, if there are some gents. We are here because Brand got a question for Bandits. No, it's a cat. Angie Reese, no, it's a cat. It's a cat. It's a cat. And mind you, Jasper is doing nothing but sitting down there in the bush minding his own business. Like he's literally just laying in a bush, minding his own business. That's all he's doing. That's all he is. He's doing. That's all he's doing. He not doing nothing to bother nobody. He's literally just sitting in the bush. That's yeah, no, trust me, exclusive. I got this. You know I got this. All I'm gonna say is better hope this is at least. They better hope it's in there verbatim. Cause if it ain't, oh, we got a problem. We got a big problem. They gonna be having to compensate me. If they don't, let's see if he no, that wasn't the text. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, let me see. This says they're not allowed in the garden plot area. I don't know what that is. Okay, yeah, it does say they can't be tied to any object anywhere outside the dwelling unit except in fenced yard. Yeah, okay, so I do have to go get him. All right, so I'm gonna go. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get him. I do have to go get him. So I'll be back. Y'all, Jasper done got over here and jumped on my lap. He want to force me to rub him. You want to you want to be rubbed? No, you don't want to. Okay, well you were just up here. Okay, so I gotta go do one more thing. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'll be looking at that. So let's get into this. A video came across my timeline that was very interesting to me. The video comes from TikTok, obviously. Clearly, this is a TikTok video. The reason I want to go over this video is because we hear bandits, meaning the majority of the men in this community, and they'll constantly sit up here and they'll say, they come from ancient Egyptians, they built the pyramids, they were kings, they were leaders, they were everything, basically. We know that this is what they'll say. We know they say it all the time. We know bandits like to hype themselves up. They hype themselves up quite a bit. They oversell and underdeliver. We know that. Leave it to these bandits. They're displaced conquered kings. They are the ones who built the Egyptian pyramids. They're the strongest. They're the best. They have more muscle. Everybody else is weaker than them. They're the smartest. Yet they've been dominated more than anybody else on the face of the planet. So we know this is largely delusion. But this is what black men sell to black women, to the degree that you have black women out here coining these men kings, but they don't got a kingdom nowhere inside. You will never see the kingdom. The kingdom just ain't gonna never materialize. But while they're calling them kings and bandits are declaring themselves descendants of the Egyptians who built the pyramids, whenever you ask bandits why they haven't built anything, they will give you a narrative about the fact that white men won't let them. Black women won't submit to their leadership. They can't build up the community. The system is holding them back. Racism is stopping them. They can't do anything. So they'll simultaneously give you a story about being warriors and also being defeated. Because keep in mind, these are the whole males who were apparently now forced out of their home. Apparently, these are the same group of men who allowed themselves to be forcefully removed from their homes because of a book of food stamps. So we have a particular type of man in our community. These males are highly delusional, highly egotistical. They lie a lot, and they'll literally say anything at all to create the illusion that they are simply something they are not. And I don't know why it is that bandits thought that the day wouldn't come to where people would start asking, okay, Egyptian pyramid, what's up with your community then? Y'all saw the thumbnail. We're going to go over the thumbnail, and we're also going to go over why we made the thumbnail what it is. Why we made this what it is. If y'all haven't seen the thumbnail, you're about to see it now. So this is our thumbnail here. As you can see, apparently they done went from the pyramids to the projects. This is what they done set up here and did. To me, this is a far drop. To me, this is a very far descend into banditry. This is essentially what black men did. This is the story that black men are telling us happened to them. They are these displaced kings who were descendants of those who built the Egyptian pyramids. So building and leadership would just be in them. That's what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you ancient Egyptian runs through their DNA. They trying to tell you we was these displaced kings. We did build the Egyptian pyramid, so we have the potential literally to build one of the, if not the most magnificent structures on the planet that every racial group seems to be wanting to lay claim to. But the reality is, if this was in black men, it raises the question of what happened to it? What happened to it? I just want to know what happened. Like, I literally want to know what happened. Because what I'm not understanding is how you would have went. I'm not understanding it. How did you go from those who built the Egyptian pyramids to those who were forced out of their home by welfare? How did you go from we built the Egyptian pyramids to now we in the hood and we can't do nothing about it? So let's get into what Brad actually asked. Because this is what Brad asked, and then we'll also go over some of the responses. We'll go over a few of them. Let me just get it real quickly. I want to pull it up on TikTok. I had to, what I had to do was I had to download the video as well because it looks like they had removed it. I don't know what Brad did to get this video taken down, or maybe some bandits were sitting up here and they got triggered by this. Because anytime anybody asks bandits a legitimate question, they start having meltdowns. They lose their shit completely. They get extremely emotional, and it doesn't really take much to get them to be emotional. This is just what they do. So Brad came on here and he asked a very legitimate question. Let's get into this question. This won't be the only time we watch this video. We will go back to this video because as more people come in, they're going to want to know. As more people come in here, they're going to want to see the video too. So we will play it over, but let's get into this.
Why are there no nice black neighborhoods? Why are there no nice black neighborhoods? Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, this is racist. Let me remind you, I am not making a statement. I am asking a question. And yes, I would prefer to hear from black people on this. White Karens, stay out of the chat. Now, I can imagine what some of the responses are going to be. You're going to talk about like historical racism, poverty, but none of that is stopping you from having a nice, safe neighborhood. But it seems that whenever you have a neighborhood that is predominantly black, it is not a nice place. And I'm curious why. Because racism doesn't make you commit crime in your own neighborhood. Disenfranchisement doesn't mean you can't mow your fucking lawn. Not getting that job because your boss is racist doesn't mean that you need to rob your neighbor. But what's the reason? Why is it there are no safe, nice black neighborhoods that people want to live in? Why are there no nice black neighborhoods?
Okay, so this is what he asked, and I think this is a very valid question. Mind you, he gave you historical racism, he gave you poverty, because we know whenever a question about what did black men build, because what black men will do is, what they'll do is, and we know this because we've seen when Foxhole was doing their panels, we've seen on the one with Umar Johnson, they were having a discussion about the system being against the black man. And what they'll do is they'll point to all of these systemic issues. Usually they're going to go back to the 1960s. They're the reason for that. The reason for that is the same reason you never see them connecting the dots between said racial policies from the 1940s and 50s Jim Crow policies. They can't connect the dots between how those policies affect them now. Because even when black men tell you that welfare forced them out of the home, they won't tell you in 2026 how welfare is forcing them out of the home. They won't tell you where welfare put them. They won't tell you the extraction method. They won't tell you whether they got back into the house, whether they looked, whether they fought to get back in the house at all. They'll do nothing to connect the dots. They'll bring up the Kerner Commission. They'll bring up redlining. They'll bring up all of these systemic issues, but they won't tie them to 2026. They won't tie redlining to why you robbing and killing people in your community. They won't tie the Kerner Commission to why black men are out trying to kill other black men and having shootouts in their community. They won't make the connection between these things. What they'll do is they'll just throw them out there. They'll just throw them out there. So what Brad is then asking now is, okay, fine. I recognize, I do. I 100% recognize that poverty is an issue. Historical racism, yeah, we get that. What does that have to do with you picking up the garbage from your damn community? What does that have to do with you mowing your lawn? What does that have to do with you trying to build up your community? Not tearing it down, not making it unsafe. Because the reality is what's making these neighborhoods safe is the men in them. It's the men. That's what's making the neighborhood safe. The men. The men are causing drama. The men are causing the crime. The men are preying on women and children and other men in the community. They're doing it. They're doing it. Now, I got into an argument with two of my sisters. I won't say which ones. I got into an argument with two of my sisters over this because they brought up racism. They brought up redlining. So we're going to go over what redlining is. We're going to read what was redlining. And is it still happening? Okay. So this says redlining is the historical and discriminatory practice of denying financial services, particularly mortgages, to residents of specific, often racially segregated neighborhoods. Although outlawed by the Fair Housing Act of 1968, another program that was removed in 1968, just like the man out of the home rule was overturned in 1968. So, According to these sources that Google just pulled up, and we'll have ChatGPT pull up more sources as well. Although outlawed by the Fair Housing Act of 1968, modern sublet forms of redlining still exist today, often through unequal loan approval rates for Black and Hispanic applicants or unequal access to services like high-speed internet. So it seems like redlining is more of denying you the finances or the resources or the wherewithal to buy a home. This does not explain why your communities are raggedy. And if it does, somebody connect the dots for me. Somebody, anybody. Because it sounds like redlining is more about denying you the opportunity to buy a home. But whether you buy or rent a home in the hood, it is still the hood. What Brad is essentially asking is, how is historical racism causing your communities to be a hood in 2026? I would like to know that too. Origin. In the 1930s, the federal government's Homeowner Loan Corporation created maps that outlined neighborhoods with high concentrations of Black and immigrant populations, and red deeming them hazardous for investment. So redlining is about the government not investing in neighborhoods that Black people live in. Does that mean Black people can't invest in the neighborhoods though? Does that mean that Black people, but why is there trap houses though? That's the thing. Having a trap house makes the neighborhood unsafe. Based on what redlining is, it shouldn't be preventing Black neighborhoods from being safe and nice in 2026. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So let's look at some of Black men's responses on here, because some of them did respond. And they responded typically and likely how you would expect them to respond, because they're never going to take accountability for what they do. Let's get into him. Let's see if he can provide an explanation.
So the older millennial asks, why are there no nice Black neighborhoods? Might get a little lengthy. Number one, there are several nice Black neighborhoods. Just in Detroit's West Side, we got Green Acres, Sherwood Forest, LaSalle Gardens, Virginia Park, Boston Edison. But he completely ignored institutional racism. Like, he just said that.
Did he completely ignore institutional racism, or did he say, I know that y'all are going to bring up historical racism? Okay, fine. We can acknowledge historical racism. What does that have to do with you mowing your damn lawn? What does that have to do with you picking up garbage? What does it have to do with it? What does it have to do with that? Like, he's going to say, oh, he completely ignored institutional racism. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Institutional racism is one of the first things he mentioned. But of course, a non-accountability taking bandit would say, oh, well, he completely ignored institutional racism. He literally mentioned it.
Aside. You know what I'm saying? Like, they haven't built freeways through the Black Bottom here in Detroit. Like, they haven't built freeways. Institutional racism. Like, he just set that aside. You know what I'm saying? Like, they haven't built freeways through the Black Bottom here in Detroit. Flooded neighborhoods elsewhere. Destroyed them through institutional racism, erasure, and all that other stuff, right? And then the frame of the question, why are there no Black neighborhoods? In and of itself is kind of like, you know, instead of
Why?
I don't know why it skipped over these.
Why
Let's
are
see.
there no nice Black neighborhoods?
Now, normally I would happily answer that question, but in order for me to answer that question, let me ask you this. So my question to you would be, for the past 36 years, can you name me 5 Black neighborhoods, just 5 nice Black neighborhoods that ended up being ruined by things that weren't systemic racism, that wasn't gentrification, that wasn't poverty or anything of the sort for the past 36 years? And if you can't, then why do you care so much about the black neighborhood now?
Hold on. This is a lispy bandit with crust in his eye, a dirty, dry, unwashed face, and a messed up beard and goatee. Dude, stop zooming the camera in on your ungroomed ass face. Please stop doing it. Please stop doing it. Because notice how this bandit did what all bandits do. He didn't answer the question. He deflected with another question talking about neighborhoods that were ruined. So are we talking about Tulsa in the early 1900s when we in 2026 now? We're in 2026. So I guess he's taking it to Tulsa. He's taking it to Rosewood. He's taking it to the Lake Lanier city. This is what he's taking it to, the early 1900s. But ain't answering the question. Ain't answering the question, though. Let's see if there's another bandit who might answer.
Are there no nice black neighborhoods? Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, this is racist. Let me remind you, I am not making a statement. I am asking a question.
Now, I want y'all to look at how this man is going to first mention racism. He's gonna first, he knows that you're gonna mention racism. He knows racism exists. Okay, cool, fine. Since the bandit want to say, oh, he skipped completely past racism, listen to him bring up racism.
Yes, I would prefer to hear from black people on this. White Karens, stay out of the chat. Now, I can imagine what some of the responses are going to be. You're going to talk about like historical racism, poverty, but none of that is stopping you from having a nice, safe neighborhood. But it's...
So you see how his first go-to was, okay, fine. Why? I know you're going to say historical racism. I know you're going to say it. So now he's saying, okay, cool. We get that. How is that stopping you from cleaning your neighborhood up? And if you can't answer the question, if you cannot connect the dots between whatever these policies, pre-civil rights policies, if you're going to mention them, then please connect the dots for us and tell us how those systemic issues are still causing you in 2026 to not be able to clean up your damn community. And while you at it, you can explain to us why how in 2026 is redlining making black men do shootouts in their neighborhoods. How? Because you ain't gonna tell me that white supremacists and KKK members are riding through y'all neighborhoods on horses and Klan attire so that you're making it unsafe for you to build your neighborhood. Because last I checked, I ain't seen the Klan ride through no black neighborhood in 2026. But we do know there's bandits driving through black neighborhoods in 2026 trying to shoot at and kill other black men. We know that, though. We know that for a fact. So I would like to know from a black man, how are these racial policies causing you to destroy the communities now since you're bringing them up? How? The Bloods and Crips took over the neighborhood I grew up in Compton because they don't own none of the properties that they live in and don't have an incentive to clean up or keep the neighborhood safe. Right, but then they should just say that because we don't have an incentive. But to sit up here and act like you go blame systemic racism, but you're not going to connect the damn dots.
Why are there no nice black neighborhoods? Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, this is
So I'm gonna sit this right here.
Here we go.
Just in case any one of y'all were being genuinely curious, right?
So this is a Dusty Bandit too. And look, okay, you got 1898, Wilmington. 1985, it says Philadelphia, but again, we in 2026. So the question would then be, what did black men do about any of these things? New York, 1863. Detroit, 1943. Chicago, 1919. Springfield, 1908. Ain't none of these in the 2000s. Ain't none of these even in the late 90s. You got 1920, 1868 again, 1874. I hope they ain't saying that they massacred a black neighborhood in 2015 in Charleston. Where was the black massacre in 2015 in Charleston? Let me see if ChatGPT can pull up the black massacre that happened in Charleston. They ain't even saying, they're literally not even saying what state. But let's see if there was a black massacre in 2015 in Charleston. Cause I need to, cause I'm thinking no. Oh, he talking about Dylan Roof. You talking about the Dylan Roof situation where they killed 9 black people and injured 1? How did that destroy your nice black neighborhood though? And I want to know what black men did in response to this. This man put on here the Charleston White, or not the Charleston White, the Dylan Roof situation. He's putting it here on a map that's supposed to be a massacre to destroy a black community. This was a church with Dylan Roof, who was trying to get black men to do something that they ain't gonna do, which is fight back. So him putting this here, Charleston in 2015, this has nothing to do with why you can't build up your neighborhoods. What does this have to do with you cleaning your neighborhood up? Your neighborhood was raggedy before Dylan Roof went to that church. Stars Above the Emerald Forest said the white man acknowledged historical issues. Those black men are dumb to know that he is talking present day. Right. According to this, Bandit is saying, oh, we scared. We scared. So is this your way of saying you're scared? Like, I don't know. Let's see if this Bandit is saying that he's scared.
Right. Or you was just being genuinely ignorant about the situation. I'm gonna sit this right here, and well, I like at the bottom of this it says, "Pick a massacre," right? Right. And then after that, you can research all the way up until 2026 how black people been disenfranchised by your people, right? Right. So like I said, just in case you're really
So it don't sound like he's gonna
curious,
land the plane.
I gave you the start, right? Gave you the start. Now you have to do the rest. And I know y'all won't do the rest and you'll blame black people, right? Because it's never y'all's fault, right? But just in case.
Okay, so this Bandit ain't gonna tell us. You can't just put up a map that say black massacres and again, not connect the dots between them and why your communities are raggedy and you running around shooting up people in your communities in 2026. This does nothing. This explains nothing. Unless what you're trying to explain is that you are scared. Let's look at him.
Why are there no nice black neighborhoods? Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, this is racist. Let me remind you, I am not making a statement. I am asking a question. And yes, I would prefer to hear from black people on this. White Karens, stay out of the chat. Now, I can imagine what some of the responses are going to be. You're going to talk about like historical racism, poverty, but none of that.
This is supposed to be a duet, so I need to get to this man. Oh, he ain't in it. Okay, so he ain't in it. So this Bandit just reposted the video but didn't say nothing. He said it's a duet, but it really isn't.
Saw a post earlier about the older millennial, and he posed the question, said, why aren't there any nice black neighborhoods? I'm assuming he's talking about inner city neighborhoods, because we have some nice neighborhoods around the country, but I'm assuming he's dealing with primarily those of the inner city type Democratic ran cities, and that speaks for itself.
Okay, militant sloth, since you said stupid question from this white man, there are nice black neighborhoods though. Okay, let me drop you the link and then you can come up and we can talk about this. Here, let me get the link and I'm gonna post it in the chat box. Just give me 1 second. Let me get y'all this link in here. I'm gonna put it in both chat boxes. Let me pin it. So I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna need you to come up and I need you to tell us where these black neighborhoods are. That's what I want you to do. I want you to tell us where these black neighborhoods are. Wait. Why is this not letting me pin this? This is weird. Why is this not letting me pin it in my own comment section? This ain't me. Can one of the mods pin the link? Can one of y'all pin my StreamYard link until I try to figure out why this is not allowing me to pin this in my own comment section? Could y'all please pin it? I can put it in there again and see if it's gonna pin. Because I need to pin this and I don't know why it's not letting me. Yeah, why is this not letting me pin this? One of the mods, please get this link and pin it. I just do it in the chat box. Why am I not even seeing it in the chat box though? Hold on, because something... It's not even showing up in the chat box, which is weird. I don't even see it in there. Yeah, this is crazy because I'm in here posting the link in here. I'm signed into it. I don't understand this. I don't understand this at all. Okay, let me do something else because I don't know why. Why wouldn't this be letting me pin this? It's literally coming from... I don't... Let me see. Because I'm putting this in here. And it's still not letting me pin it. This is just weird. This is weird. I don't get it. I don't get why I'm not able to pin this link literally in my own chat box. And it's not even coming up. So let me do this. Let me... Hold on, let me see this. Let me just put this in my email. So I'm going to send this to myself. Let me pull it out my... This is weird though. Like, I don't... No, I just want to copy link address. Let me see if I can do it. No, it won't let me pin it to this. And do y'all see it in the chat box now? Because I just put it in the chat box. Why can I pin yours, but I can't pin mine? That's crazy, Tam, because I can... That's weird. I can pin yours, but I can't pin mine. Thank you, Tam, for doing that. I want to get it in the other one too. Let me get it in the other chat box too. Let me switch this out. Let me see. I'm gonna put it on the other one. So give me a second. See if I'm able to put it in this one. It just wouldn't let me do. It wouldn't let me do so let me see if I can do it now with this channel. That is crazy. There has to be a setting on my other thing. Because I can pin it on this one too. Yeah, I was able to pin it in this one too. The other one too. So this doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. All right, so for that bandit, there's your link. You can take the pin link and come up here unless we just go assume you trolling. And then if you trolling, you would just have to get up out of here. But I'm gonna assume you are trolling because you haven't came up yet and the link did just get posted a little bit ago. So you clearly just don't want to come up. So hopefully this bandit ain't in here. If y'all see him, please block him. Let's continue to go over this.
They're in the city. The Democrat ran. And also, there's an absence of fathers. There's an absence of religious structure, the church. When I grew up, most of the young men were raised by not even mother, but the grandparents, primarily the grandmother. Father wasn't around, mother wasn't around. Most of those men didn't go to church. They had no desire to go to church. And these are the people that are raising the next generation. And that's what we're seeing now. In my case, I was blessed to have both parents in the home. My father raised me to love, work, and to honor the country.
The problem with this is that Black men said they are the most active fathers. So when it comes to this, you don't get to drive an argument that the issue is that the fathers aren't in the home when y'all said that you're the most active fathers. So are y'all the most active fathers from outside the home? Which, if that's what you're saying, that even when you're outside the home, if you're saying that you are indeed the most active fathers, even when you're outside the home, then this single mother argument, because that's essentially what he's bringing up. His argument is that they were raised by single mothers, so they just don't want to do it. The they just don't want to do it part is correct. But the single mothers part doesn't land because Black men said they're the most active fathers. So that doesn't track. It can't be an issue of single mothers because Black men said that they're the most active fathers. They said they're not abandoning their children. In fact, they said the CDC confirmed that they are indeed the most active fathers. So if we're saying that the CDC confirmed that you are indeed the most active fathers, then you don't need to come on here with a single mother narrative. Because then the issue wouldn't be single mothers, the issue would then be their fathers. I don't know where he's going with this, but it looked like he's going with single mothers.
Mom did the same. At the church that we went to was an actual biblical church. It was not a social justice church, but it was an actual biblical church. Also, the problem in our community is that the Christianity in our community, and I mean anti-biblical Christianity is in these communities. I keep saying our communities because I'm so used to saying that, but I'm not in that community anymore. I moved years ago out of the community I was brought up in, West End. As I left the comment on the young millennial post that West End was so horrible, man. They used to call it the drive-by zip code 35211. It was pretty bad. We had to dodge bullets here and there. They shot inside the school. It was terrible. But I survived with the grace of God, by the grace of God, and good parenting, good rearing.
Okay, so he ain't gonna give you the response either. So we don't need to go over his. He ain't giving the response. He's not giving a response either. He just not. And it looked like that's where they videos ended. None of them are going to actually give a response to this. None of this are going to explain it. They're just going to deflect. This man was sitting in there talking about there ain't enough biblical Christianity in the community. Mind you, black people are the most religious, most Christian on the planet. Damn sure in this country. Let me see who came in. Okay, I don't know. Let me just add you to the stage and see what you're doing. And I'm telling you, if you try something, I'm already ready to remove you. Mute your background, please.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, am I live?
You are.
Oh, wow, yeah. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, can you tell us your name or what you want us to call you? Loco, we can't hear you. You muted yourself. I'm about to boot him off. Because he's not hold on. StreamYard switched out my audio outputs. It just switched it out. So I switched it back. Loco, are you gonna take yourself off of mute and talk, or am I booting you off? You got 2 seconds. Going once. Going, okay, you gone. It just is what it is. He doesn't. He chose not to say nothing. So he came up here and then chose not to say nothing. If anybody come up here, you need to immediately get to the point. You gonna have to immediately get to the point. I already booted him. He's already booted. He ain't even saying nothing. He's not even saying anything. Okay, so you came back.
Yeah, hi. I had you on. What? But I cleared it. Sorry about that.
Okay. Do you want to respond to the question?
Yeah, I just want to say the black women are keep dating black men. It's inevitable because we got different body chemistry than the rest of these men. these
Let
women
me stop you. This is not about dating and who's dating who. I want you to respond to what this man said.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up there. Yeah, I just wanted to say that black women are going to keep dating.
No. You're not going to come up here and start talking about dating. That's not what you're going to do. You're either going to respond to what's up here or you won't be up here. This is not a dating discussion. And you act like you don't understand that. I've already said it once. Why then would you take yourself off mute and say the same thing? Like you just said the same thing. Now you can come back, but you need to respond to what you need to respond to. Stop talking about dating. He don't even got the connection to be here. He doesn't even like he don't even got the connection to be here. So he ain't gonna be here. He ain't. He's not about to be here. But I'm about to see if we missed some other responses. Hang on for a minute.
Why are there no nice black?
I want to follow.
So the older millennial asks, why
are there no nice black neighborhoods? Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, this is racist.
Okay, so I believe a mammy responded. So let's get on here because I think a mammy responded. I'm just assuming it, but let me not assume. Let me not assume. Let me just go in here and let me not assume nothing. Okay, so we'll listen to her.
I have no clue why the older millennial still has a platform when he has such horrible racist,
here she go.
homophobic
Here she go.
Like, he is the biggest bootlicker I've ever seen. And I'm not talking about his size. I'm talking purely about his spirit. First off, your question is indeed racist, because just because you haven't seen any predominantly black neighborhoods that look nice to you doesn't mean they don't exist, because there are out there. Ever been to Martha's Vineyard? Probably not. You probably couldn't afford it. But yeah, there are black neighborhoods in Martha's Vineyard that are well off. Well off. People have had land for literally decades, centuries.
Okay, girl. So you ain't gonna answer the question either. She just saying, oh, there is.
What's the move? Can I tell the truth if I was doing this?
White dude asked us black folk, why are there no nice black neighborhoods? There actually are. We just will not be telling y'all where they are because y'all will go gentrify and colonize them. The government would already know where they are. like you talking about y'all will come gentrify and colonize them. You can't hide a nice black neighborhood from the government. How you gonna? We not gonna tell you where they are because y'all will come gentrify them. Apparently, there's some hidden nice black neighborhoods in the U.S. that are hidden from the government. Okay, cool. Let's listen to him. See what he got to say.
Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, this is racist. Let me remind you, I am not making a statement. I am asking a question. And yes, I would prefer to hear from black people on this. What?
What's up, dude? Black dude here. And before I get started, let me just say I've met older millennial before. Really cool guy. Really nice guy. Spoke to him at AmFest. Spoke to him at SAS. Really, really cool guy. One of the nicest guys out there. If you haven't, just check out his stuff. He's a really great guy. On to his question, though. There's actually a pretty simple answer. There are no good black neighborhoods because black folks in general don't want accountability. They want accountability from everyone else. They want accountability from the police, white folks, the president, everyone else. the government, history, everyone else, but they don't want accountability for themselves.
Nope.
And that right there is just a fact. They don't want accountability because they want to ignore all the problems in the black community because all the black problems in black communities are somebody else's fault. Gangs, somebody else's fault.
Why is this doing this? I wanted to hear what you had to say. Look at TikTok Church.
Why are there
So now I gotta fast forward it.
no nice black men?
Accountability from the police, white folks, the president, everyone else, the government, history, everyone else, but they don't want accountability for themselves. And that right there is just a fact. They don't want accountability because they want to ignore all the problems in the black community because all the black problems in black communities are somebody else's fault. Gangs, somebody else's fault. They just need programs. They just need, after school centers and stuff like that. Poverty, none of that's their fault. EBT scams, all the rampant crime that's going on, drugs, that's all someone else's fault. It's all someone else's problem, and it's all somebody else's solution that they have to come up with. Black folks don't want to actually take accountability for what's going on in their own neighborhoods. I lived in bad black neighborhoods. I actually currently live in a very good neighborhood, which is mostly white. And the difference between the neighborhood I live in now and the neighborhood I grew up in is that the neighborhood I live in now, everyone takes accountability. When there's a community board meeting, everyone is there. It's standing room only. If something's going on in their neighborhood, they have meetings, they discuss it, they figure it out, they solve the problem. When I lived in the black neighborhood, there was none of that going on. Everything was someone else's problem. Everything was, I'm not getting involved in this. I'm minding my own business. This is not my fault. This is why gangs can do whatever they want. This is why drug dealers do whatever they want. This is why robbers do whatever they want. This is why stick-up guys do whatever they want. Everything else is someone else's problem.
Yep.
So that's basically the reason why there is no accountability. There's no self-accountability going on in black neighborhoods. Prove me wrong. Zeke Arkham.
They can't prove you wrong. Let me go into the comments. But Martha's Vineyard is considered a black neighborhood for wealthy people. For wealthy. It's a certain type. Because it said Martha's Vineyard, particularly the town of Oak Bluff. So not all of Martha's Vineyard, just one town within it. Not all of Martha's Vineyard, one town in Martha's Vineyard called Oak Bluffs is widely regarded as the historic premier summer enclave for affluent, emphasis on affluent, African-American families, intellectuals, and leaders, often nicknamed the Black Hamptons. So it's not Martha's Vineyard. That person meant to say Oaks Bluff within Martha's Vineyard. So this is one little town within Martha's Vineyard for rich black people. So not the majority of black, this is one city for rich black people. One town. It's not a city, it's one town for rich black people. So we'll give it Oaks Bluff inside of Martha's Vineyard. We will give it that. But it don't look like the everyday black person can go in there. That ain't what it's giving. It ain't giving, you could be anybody and then come in here. What happened to my list? Okay, it's not giving what they saying is giving. Let's see if she responded.
I got love for you. I'm gonna always have love for you because we can agree.
So this person said black neighborhoods are trash because blacks don't own their neighborhoods anymore. Crack epidemic and mass incarceration hit our neighborhoods hard and it never recovered. Urban renewal. So they always got an excuse. The bottom line is it never recovered because black men didn't do anything. Let's see what she got to say.
Agree to disagree. I'm going to keep it all the way real because this is my disagreement. I wish we stopped this. Stop making these excuses.
I wish we would.
Nobody told them to go out, and nobody forced them to go out and sell drugs. They did that on their own.
Right.
Nobody told them to go out and become murderers. They did that on their own.
Exactly.
Nobody told them to become gang members. They did that on their own. All of those things have tore our communities down. Then we have this no snitch thing while little Timmy and Junior running around becoming serial killers and got 10, 20 bodies, mothers crying, dads crying, it's babies, aunties, cousins, sons and brothers all out here gone on these streets because these little ass kids are terrorizing our neighborhood, but no snitching. No. Then we have the no accountability. It's everybody else's fault but ours, because if we actually take accountability, then we will have to be forced to look at ourselves and see that we are the problem in our neighborhood. No. It's easy to blame everybody else because it takes the flack off of us. Mm-hmm. It's not us. It's not us tearing our neighborhoods up, running them down. It's not us selling drugs in abandoned houses. It's not us. What are you talking about? We don't own anything on our blocks. It's because we didn't give back to our neighborhoods. All these gang members and claiming these claiming these blocks, didn't take none of that drug money and buy a house on none of these blocks they claim. We allowed these people to take over our whole entire neighborhoods. We're scared to walk certain places. We're scared to say anything. We can't go into certain stores because they blocking the entryway, believing that they own this store. It's so disgraceful to see that we as Black people are still blaming everybody else for our shortcomings when we are the problem. We the problem. Letting kids run wild, partying, kicking it, drinking, smoking. Our priorities are in the wrong place, and then we wonder why shit ain't going great for us and why God is disappointed in our behavior. I would be too. Y'all walk around calling yourselves the chosen one.
Yep, thank you,
don't even
girl.
act like chosen one.
Thank you.
It's just ridiculous on how people feel like they can't be held accountable. We are the problem. And the moment we start to realize that, then we can get to the solution. But it's hard. It's so hard to find a solution when you don't believe you the problem. Boom. We are all the problem. None of us give back. None of us have brought. We leave our children defenseless out here in these streets. Yes. They don't have no trust fund, no cars, no land, no houses, no insurance. Life insurance we always have to throw fish fries and block parties to bury our children. Our priorities in the wrong place and we're blaming everybody else but ourselves.
Hold on. Yes, we are all the problem. You want to know why? You want to know why we're all the problem? Love 83, we're all the problem because Black women continue to birth children and raise them in hoods that Black men are terrorizing. Black women do not require that Black men do anything. Just like you had this bandit come up here and say that Black women will always be dating Black men, they don't even think there's anything they can do to get you to stop dating them. They don't think there's anything that they can do to get you to stop having children by them. And when Black women continue to birth children to Black men, despite their failures, despite their violence, despite their abandonment, despite their unwillingness to do anything, that is how you are part of the problem. Because you are feeding these children into this. As a mother, as a woman, you are not making decisions based on what environment you want to raise your kids in. So if you're willing to birth your kid in the hood, guess what? You're repeating the cycle. You're repeating the cycle. You're feeding into it too. So I don't know why you would say we're all the problem as if Black women don't contribute to this too. Yes. How are Black men getting here? How are they getting here? They can only come through you. You know they chewing up the community. You know they abandoning their kids. You know they refuse to do anything to build up the community. You know they refuse to do this, but we still prioritize them as Black women. We still make excuses for their failures as Black women because nobody in 2026, especially if you can name in the chat box Black neighborhoods that are nice. So that means you don't have an argument about racism because then you need to go explain why racism, redlining, mass incarceration, and the Kerner Commission, why didn't it prevent those Black neighborhoods? Why? Why is Oaks Bluff in Martha's Vineyard, why is that able to become a nice Black neighborhood as opposed to Compton, or raggedy ass Oakland? Oakland is an embarrassment. Do you know how many Black rappers and singers have shouted out Oakland? Oakland is a complete embarrassment. If y'all been to Oakland anytime recently, go drive through Oakland. And tell me where E40, Keisha Cole, Too Short, and all of those Black rappers who love to call out Oakland. Oakland is one big raggedy hood. Nearly the entirety of Oakland is raggedy. Nearly the whole thing, raggedy. It is a problem. Yeah, Divine, Oakland is disgustingly embarrassing. Like, you know, they had the Oakland so raggedy, they had to move the Raiders over to Vegas. That's how raggedy Oakland is. That's how raggedy Oakland is. They had to move the football team to another state entirely because Oakland is so damn raggedy and violent. Keisha Cole is from Oakland. Keisha Cole might currently live in Atlanta, but she is from Oakland. Okay, you don't know, because this is hella funny. Anti-status quo said Oakland is out of pocket. It is. Oh my God, Oakland is so bad. Like, I can't even believe I have to drive through Oakland. I really don't. I can't. You said Memphis, Oakland, Compton, Philly, Baltimore City, Southside, Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit. Again. How many rappers do you hear? Like T.I. said in one of his songs, all he cares about is Atlanta. Well, we ain't gonna say T.I. haven't been trying to do nothing to build up a hood, because he has. T.I. is one of the only rappers I've heard of that's trying to build up any part of the neighborhood that they were from. T.I. is the only one that I've heard. Because y'all remember when T.I. was trying to buy up a whole bunch of houses because he said he wanted to buy up the hood? T.I. is the only person I heard of doing that. You say MC Hammer is from Oakland, and look what happened to him when he tried to help. Yeah, because he needed more people. You said the entire Bay Area is a dumpster. Not the entire Bay Area, because Walnut Creek is not bad. Walnut Creek is actually nice. I don't know if that's considered the Bay Area, but it ain't all bad. Certain parts of Alameda isn't bad. It's the Bay Area. So there are some cities along the way that aren't, but Oakland is trash. Like, they talking about you will come gentrify, and Oakland needs to be gentrified. Like, Oakland seriously is in desperate need of gentrification, because San Francisco have some nice areas too. They do. San Francisco absolutely has nice areas. I just don't like San Francisco. I don't like San Francisco. You say Oakland Hills is amazing, yeah, but the most of Oakland is trash. You said Alameda by the naval base is fine. It's nice. You know St. Louis is bad when you tell a violent felon you are from St. Louis, and they immediately get scared and step away from you. Yeah. No, most of Oakland has not been gentrified. No, it has not. No, I was just riding through Oakland in late 2025. It was my best friend's birthday in September, not too long ago. So I'm sure in a 5 month period, most of Oakland didn't get gentrified. I'm pretty sure in a 5 month period, Oakland did not get gentrified. I was just, one of my best friends, some of her family lives in Oakland. We were just over in Oakland visiting her family. Most of it is absolutely not gentrified. Most of it is raggedy. Most of it is raggedy with garbage all over the place, boarded up windows, graffiti all over. Like, I don't know why. What is making you think most of Oakland is gentrified? It is not. It needs to be. It needs to be. Like, because Oakland is given hopeless. I understand Oakland is a large city. That being said, most of Oakland is not gentrified. It ain't that big of a city where you driving through Oakland and you're like, no. Most of Oakland is absolutely not gentrified. Like, this is just a blatant, like, this is deceit right here. To say most of Oakland is gentrified, it's absolutely not. You said you won't even get gas in Oakland. East Oakland is really rough. Piedmont, Rock Ridge, all Oakland. Okay, that's fine. Again, most of Oakland ain't gentrified. Oakland is raggedy. Most of Oakland is raggedy. Like, it just is what it is. Maybe they might be in the process of gentrifying Oakland, but no. Not from what I see. Not from what I see. And from what I seen as recent as September, when my best friend was here and we were riding through Oakland, completely raggedy, embarrassing. I left the job making 32 to get out of Oakland. Yeah, it's nasty. It's just a problem. But this lady is right on. Let's listen to the last 7 seconds of her video.
But I'm going to be, our priorities are in the wrong place and we're blaming everybody else but ourselves. But I'm going to be the one to tell you, it's us.
It is us. And that really just is what it is. It is.
You know why there'll never be a nice all-black neighborhood? Because the culture that brainwashed these niggas into thinking living in a bad neighborhood is cool. Like, you'll have a motherfucker tell someone what part of town they from, and somebody will respond like, oh, that shit not. That shit ain't dangerous over there. That shit's safe. As if staying in a bad neighborhood is a flex. Like, duh, motherfucker, it's supposed to be nice where I live. Like, why the fuck would I want my neighborhood to be dangerous? Like a place where I lay my head and my kids sleep at. And if motherfuckers think that living in a bad neighborhood is a flex, what makes you think they gonna put any effort in to change the shit? They competing to make the shit work. So you mean to tell me you want a nice car, nice jewelry, nice house, but you want your neighborhood to be fucked up? Like, make it make sense, bro. It's like the only time
Mind you, this video ain't even a part of this because this is from May 26, 2024. So this video ain't even a part of it, but his video literally could be a response to the video. His video could be a response to the white dude's video, even though this was in May in 2024, because what he's saying is absolutely true. Courtney said they might want to speed it up then because Oakland is trash. So sorry, exactly. Anybody who been to Oakland recently knows it is straight trash. Embarrassingly. Like, I was like, this is Oakland? When I rode through Oakland, I was like, this is what all these rappers are bragging about in here? Because to me, as far as I'm concerned, Oakland is too unlivable for me. To me, Oakland is unlivable. I would never live in Oakland. I don't even think I would live in Oakland for free. Even if the rent was free in Oakland, I wouldn't live in Oakland. Why are niggas always going live in their cars? Maybe they ain't got nowhere else to go live from. Wherever there's an influx of black males, the neighborhood is going to be shitty. This part, Tam, and if we could just acknowledge this, Tam, we will be doing more than black people have done in like generations. It seems like since we walked off the plantation, or as Nyla says, since they were evicted from the plantation, yeah, black men been problematic. They've been problematic. They've been terrorizing the black community since they got off the plantation. Just is what it is. The fact that gentrification is even a thing tells you how many poor and unsafe black neighborhoods there really are. Yeah. You said you were scared in Stockton and Oakland. Yeah, like Oakland is shamefully raggedy. It's almost like Oakland is the forgotten city. It's like Oakland is the abandoned city. I don't know why black people running all these celebrities, black celebrities are bigging up Oakland. I don't know why they doing it. I don't know why. This is an embarrassment. But we can go continue to drag Oakland. But every time somebody bring up Oakland, it's a problem for me. It is. It's a huge problem. It's a problem for me. But at the end of the day, the lack of accountability is a huge problem. It is a huge problem. Like, it don't matter what the issue is. It doesn't matter what the issue is. If you ask black people, there's a bunch of excuses. There's nothing they can do. Black men are too oppressed, but at the same time, black men are kings. So are they kings or are they oppressed? Like, can we come to an agreement? Because both things can't be true. I don't know of a king historically who was oppressed and enslaved. And once you become the oppressed and enslaved, you are no longer a king. You don't get that title. You said, and in Oakland, Free to Be said in Oakland, they don't think it's a problem. They don't see what's wrong. Yeah, and that's why Oakland is the way it is. That is exactly why it is what it is. Maybe some of the black mayors know what a nice, where nice neighborhoods. My guess would be down south somewhere. Well, if they're scattered nice black neighborhoods, then I don't see how anybody is driving an argument that redlining in 2026. While redlining may stop you from being able to own a home in the hood, it's not making the hood. So I don't get it. Like, I'm really trying to, like, what do the black community want? Do you want progressiveness? Do you want somebody to look upon your community and say, oh, poor black people, we must help them? Because I thought y'all complained that was what Democrats do. I thought we complained that Democrats like to infantilize black people and act like they can't do nothing. But whenever we ask a question, whenever a legitimate question gets asked, black people parrot the same thing. Oh, we can't do nothing because of ABCD. We're never going to tell you why this is this way. We're never going to connect the dots. We're just going to say, oh, we're not to blame. Hold on, somebody came up. I need to... And here my camera go again. Somebody came up. Let me do something. Oh, the person needs to connect if you're trying to come up, you need to connect to the audio first. I can't add you up until you connect to the audio. Jenny, you need to connect to the audio in order for me to let you up. Because right now, I'm just looking at it say you're not connected. It just says device not connected. So you haven't connected to the audio. So I can't let you up. Like, I literally can't let you up. There go Karen at the door. I live in an affluent city in the Bay Area, Pleasanton. I've heard of Pleasanton. And it's definitely not Oakland. This influential community is divided by lower and upper leaders to distinguish old and new African American money in this area. Oh, I'm just gonna remove Jenny from the studio because I can't put you up unless you connect to the audio. Like StreamYard won't let me add you up until you connect to the audio, and that person wasn't connecting to the audio. It says, so flexing on wealth is not a flex, it's just another form of slavery. If you're not doing nothing with your wealth, please stop mentioning your wealth. There are buildings that were burned down during the LA Rodney King riots in 92 okay. Yeah. St. Louis is literally plagued by snakes, narcissists, and their flying monkey. Yeah, I just need, if you don't control nothing, you can't change nothing. You can't change what you have no control over. You literally cannot change anything if you don't have control over anything. So black people sitting here in this defeated mentality saying that they don't control anything, but they want the community to progress. No, you don't. You don't want community progression if you don't want to admit that you have some power over how your community looks. Let's see what the bandit got to say.
Why are there no nice black neighborhoods?
Why do schools with mostly black students have metal detectors when all the white schools are the ones who get shot up with no metal detectors? Oh, boy.
Why are there no nice...
Okay, so an emotional bandit.
Why do schools with mostly black students have metal detectors when all the white schools are the ones who get shot up with no metal?
Because regardless to the white schools getting shot up, which is usually a one-off, they're not consistently plagued by drive-bys. They're not consistently every day plagued by dope boys standing on the corner. They're not consistently plagued by gang activity. Yes, of course, we already know people of no color, particularly males, they are the ones who mostly shoot up schools in suburban areas. Is that an everyday occurrence? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the reason black men are emotional because it's a man asking, and outside of the black community, the men feel like communities are supposed to be managed, led, and kept by men. That's why. They're mad and emotional because when a man outside of the black community asks this question, he is asking something that is directly a failure of the men. Look how emotional and weird he is.
No nice black neighborhoods.
Why do schools with mostly black students have metal detectors when all the white schools are the ones who get shot up with no metal detectors? Oh, boy.
Why are there...
Sunnyside said, even if white school shooters are on the rise, like really on the rise, what would that have to do with why your neighborhoods? Right, because this is a deflection. It's a deflection by black men. That's what it is.
Why are there no nice black neighborhoods? Before y'all lose your fucking minds and be like, dude, shit.
They were better. No, yeah, this is okay. Same dusty bandit. Okay, so we ain't got nothing new. Now TikTok is just bringing us the same old, same old. Bandits are going to continue to make excuses. Black women are going to continue to accept those excuses for the ones who are going to accept them. But I'm not going to accept them because black men advertise themselves and their supposed greatness way too much. You always want to flex your greatness in different situations, but then when we start asking you, what did you build? Why are your communities raggedy? All of a sudden, you ain't that great. You want to sit up here and talk about you the descendants of the ancient Egyptians, but when we ask you about your hood, now all of a sudden, you ain't so great. Now all of a sudden you bringing up 1900 massacre maps and not connecting it to 2026 in your raggedy neighborhoods. When you want to shame black women, you want to take credit and say, oh, men built all of this. You want to include yourself in the infrastructure that was built here. But when we ask you about your raggedy ass neighborhood, oh, it's the Carter Commission. Oh, it's mass incarceration. Oh, they put drugs in the community. You're not going to explain who made you sell them. You just going to say they put drugs in your community. When we ask you why you running around doing shootouts, you just go say they snuck guns in your community. You not go explain why you picked the guns up and turned them on the next black man. You just go say there's guns in the community. Oh, the CIA dropped off a box of guns, and just like the dumb puppets that we are, we picked them up and start killing other black men and women and children. You will sit up here and talk about systemic oppression, but you're not telling us why your dumbass was in the Supreme Court fighting for Becky's cooch and not systemic equality. There is something that black men can do. They're choosing not to do it. They can sit up here and say they were forced out of their homes, but they ain't gonna tell you what they dumbasses did to get back into the home. Nothing, because they weak. And I'm tired of hearing the mantra of weak men, who the only thing they want to bring to your damn table is defeatedness and what they can't do. Then why are you here? Why should I give birth to you if you just go give me a weak ass, defeated ass sob story about why you can't do a damn thing? Because that's all they do. Whenever you ask a black man a question about anything, he'll give you a sob story after why he can't do it. Meanwhile, he'll tell you it's systemic racism and all of these black massacres. They'll bring up Emmett Till, but they can't stay out of white women's beds, though. Emmett Till, but Becky is my preference, though. Emmett Till, but if it ain't snowing, I ain't going, though. Emmett Till, and they falsely accusing us, and these white women, they always falsely accusing, but I'm bunny hopping, though. They broke us, but Becky is my preference, though. Let me go to the women who raised in them. Let me go over there to them. They took me out of the home and prevented me from being a provider, but I ain't gonna go to the Supreme Court to get back in the home. A black woman had to do that. I'm run to the Supreme Court so I have access to Becky's cooch. Only so I can turn her into a single mother too, because I ain't gonna build no. Didn't y'all say that y'all were gonna build some better communities with Beckisha? Didn't they say they was doing that? Because I know they said they were going to build a better black community with Becky. The only thing you built is a population of confused biracials. That's all you did. You built up the single mother rate in the white community. That's what you did. And then you took your raggedy passport on Spirit Airlines and you took your dumb ass out of the country only for them to now ban you from it. Because notice how these passport bandits, the only thing that they did is get robbed, toe tagged, and banned from these countries. That's all they did. Brazil had to literally put a monetary value on it, knowing these bandits are broke. They had to put a monetary value on you coming in the country just so they can keep these broke ass, dumb ass bandits out of it who want to take $100 over there for some impoverished cooch. Brazil, Philippines, and the Dominican Republic, right? And all of they said, look, we know they broke as hell, so let's just say they gotta show us that they got $2,000 in their bank account in order to come over here, because they know most of you dumbass bandits don't got $2,000 in your bank account. They know you don't got $2,000 in your bank account, but you calling yourself a high value man, talking about somebody after the money that you don't got. Why was a bandit stuck in a country, didn't even have money to buy him a plane ticket to get out? And he panhandling on the internet. But I thought you was a king, though. I thought you was high value, though. That is, that they want some economically disenfranchised third world country cooch. Going over there and you want to do it all. Well, would the white man get to do it? The white man get to do it, so why can't we do it? The white man built up his community, so why can't your raggedy ass do it? I got a question too. The white man made the white woman the most powerful woman on the planet. Why didn't you do that? The white man went around and colonized everybody, including your dumb ass, and got you lusting after they women and worshiping their white male deity. Why can't you do the same? Since you want to be like the white man so much, since you want to go around engaging in sex tourism like the white man, why don't your dumb ass build and conquer and colonize like the white man? You want to be the white man when it comes to sexuality and what they do, what they did. But when it comes to building, oh, you lost now. Now when it comes to building, oh, we can't build the Kerner Commission. Let's see and ask ChatGPT, is there any evidence of the Kerner Commission stopping black men from building neighborhoods, successful neighborhoods today? That's what we go ask. Because I want to know what the Kerner Commission got to do with you not cleaning up your damn neighborhood. What does the Kerner Commission got to do with you not taking care of your kids? Could you pull up any evidence of how the Kerner Commission is preventing black men from building safe black neighborhoods in 2026? And we gonna go through all they little damn talking points. Let's just see if there's any evidence. Because if it's there, it's go pull it up. There isn't any evidence because it's not a thing. The Kerner Commission was a temporary 11-member federal advisory commission created by Lyndon B. Johnson in 1967 to study the 1967 uprisings and publish recommendations. It issued its final report in 1968. Final report in 19. Yeah, I want y'all to see the trend of 1968, because here now we got 1968 coming up again. Redlining was reversed in 1968. The Kerner Commission entered its final report in 1968. The man out of the home rule was thrown out in 1968. And was disbanded. The Kerner Commission was disbanded in 1968. It has no ongoing power, budget, or authority in 2026 to prevent black men from building safe black neighborhoods. Let's ask how is redlining. Could you pull up any evidence of how redlining is preventing black men from building safe black communities in 2026? Let's see. Then we go pull up how welfare is preventing you. Okay, I asked specifically how it's, I only want to want evidence on how it's preventing black men from building safe communities. So it said, I hear you. You want concrete evidence-based research showing how the legacy of redlining is linked to conditions today that make it harder. No, it make it impossible. No, black men are saying it makes it impossible. The evidence needs to show that redlining is preventing, not making it harder, Black men from building safe neighborhoods. Because they are saying that redlining is preventing them. Preventing, meaning stopping them from building safe neighborhoods. That's the evidence I want. We already know that there's a legacy of it. We already know. But I want to know how it's stopping them today. Because Black, if you gonna say it's preventing you, then I need to know how it's preventing you. And then we'll go into well, what did they say? They put crack in the communities in the 1960s or was it the 80s? I don't know what year they did it. So we'll see how that's preventing you. If you mean preventing equals actively stopping Black men and other residents from building safe neighborhoods by blocking access to the money needed to buy, repair, and improve homes, no, but that's... So you repairing a home has nothing to do with the violence. There's direct evidence that, so let me... So you would have to show how redlining is causing the violence in Black neighborhoods and how it's preventing Black people from cleaning said neighborhoods and making them safe. An old home does not cause a neighborhood to be unsafe. Nor does renting as opposed to owning make Black men commit crimes in their communities. I want a direct causal link between these issues and redlining. So it said, good, this is the right way to frame it. If someone is claiming redlining is directly causing violence in the Black neighborhoods today and is actively preventing Black men from cleaning up or making those neighborhoods safe, that requires a clear causal chain, not correlations, not vibe, not legacy impact. And the reason why I'm wording it this way, because they are saying that these are why we can't do this. Here's the honest answer. There is no study that demonstrates redlining directly causes individual Black men to commit violent crimes. Redlining directly prevents Black residents from cleaning, organizing, and improving their neighborhoods. There is no study that demonstrates that redlining is causing mechanically produced violence independent of other variables. The direct causal proof does not exist in the academic literature. So while redlining might make it difficult for you to obtain the resources to buy homes or put money into your homes. It is not causing you to be in gangs. It is not causing you to sell drugs. It is not causing you to commit crimes. What does exist is in this. Researchers show correlations between historically redlined areas, persistent poverty, concentrated disadvantage, lower property values, lower lending access, high crime rates in some cities. But correlation does not equal causation. To prove what you're saying, a study would have to show redlining independently predicts violent behavior after controlling for poverty, family structure, policing patterns, incarceration rates, gang presence, drug markets, education, etc. Removing redlining alone would eliminate violence. These are what they would have to prove. You would have to prove that removing redlining alone would eliminate violence. You would have to prove that removing redlining would have individuals would behave differently for the historic landing maps. No serious research makes that claim. Here's the real nuance without spin. Redlining, 1930s to 1960s policy contributed to racial segregation, concentrated poverty, wealth gaps, or spatial isolation. Those conditions are associated with higher crime rates in many studies, but the mechanism in those studies is typically concentrated disadvantage leads to weak institutions, which leads to reduced informal social control, which leads to higher crime. Are there any post-civil rights racist policies today that is preventing Black men from building safe neighborhoods, and that is causing them to, we'll put forcing, because Black men act like they've been forced, that is forcing them to commit crimes, abandon their children, cause the degradation of their communities, and engage in femicide. If there is any evidence of those programs causing this in 2026, please bring up the evidence. The evidence needs to show a causal factor here, not correlation. Because Black men are explicitly saying that post-civil rights movements racial policies are causing these issues in 2026. So we'll see if they're which ones are still doing it. I need to tell this Nina, I didn't ask for risk factors. I asked for causal factors, not risk factors, causal factors. I already understand the risk. I understand how certain things correlate. I don't want the correlation. You're asking for a very specific kind of proof. Post-civil rights racist policies are forcing Black men to commit crimes, abandon kids, degrade communities, and commit femicide, and we need causal evidence in 2026. Tell it like it is, answer no. There is no credible causal evidence that any post-civil rights racial policy forces black men to do those behaviors. That claim is rhetoric, not science. Force would require showing men had no meaningful agency and that the policy mechanically produced those outcomes. What does exist is narrower, testable causal evidence that some policies can increase risk factors. It can increase risk factors, but it cannot cause them. For violence, family instability, and community degradation in certain contexts, those are not racial policies in name, but they've had racial unequal impacts. Below are the strongest causal mechanisms researchers can actually support. So we know these increases. These issues increase risk factors. They do not cause them. So we're going to ask, how is welfare extracting black men from their homes in 2026? Could you pull up any evidence that shows that welfare is forcing black men out of their homes in 2026? Or at any time in the 2000s? So I said, could you pull up any evidence that shows that welfare is forcing black men out of their homes in 2026 or any time in the 2000s? So I'm gonna give them a whole 26-year run. Because we all the way in 2026. So I gave this a 26-year period to see if welfare has been forcing black men out of their homes. So it said, if you mean welfare, how the rule that makes black men leave the home or literally remove them, no. There is no credible evidence for that in the 2000s or in 2026. There is also no federal welfare rule today that requires fathers to be gone for a mother to get assistance. What did exist, but not in the 2000s? We already know the man in the house rule, and it was overturned in 1968. There were state AFDC man in the house rules decades ago that cut off aid in adult men was found in the home. The U.S. Supreme Court struck down a version of this in 1968, King v. Smith. So if someone is claiming welfare forced black men out, the closest historical policy hook is pre-1968, not 2000 and 2026. Ain't nobody doing nothing to black men to prevent them from building up a community. They don't want to do it. Black men are not builders. They are not leaders. They are not protectors. They are not warriors. They are exactly what you see today, cowards. They are scared to do anything. They are scared of white men, and they are desperately and hopelessly submissive to them. And I really need black women to understand that. You are not going to get what you want out of black men because black men were programmed to only do something towards white men. That's why the only people black men benefit largely is white men, because they were bred on the plantation. And we need to stop breeding. We need to actually talk about it. And we need to talk about what effect it had today. Let's look into that for a little now. We got 15 more minutes. We'll briefly ask ChatGPT to break down how plantation breeding has affected black men in 2026. Could you explain the effects that plantation selective breeding affects black men in 2026? It said there is no scientific evidence that plantation selective breeding is biologically affecting Black men in 2026 in a way that drives behavior, crime, fatherhood patterns, or community outlines. That idea gets repeated online, but it does not have genetic support. Let's separate three things. It said, was selective breeding attempted during slavery? There is historical documentation that some enslavers forced pairings, raped enslaved women, encouraged reproduction for profit after the transatlantic slave trade. But this is not the same as systemic multi-generation genetic engineering like livestock programs. Humans were not bred in closed control lineage for dozens of generations, experienced high mortality, cells across the region, great mixed ancestry, and chaotic family destruction. Let me ask you something like this. How long did plantation breeding last? How long did it last? There were no former standardized plantation breeding. This is not true. This is not true. No, this is not true. There were breeding farms for plantation owners in America and outside of it. And it was systemic. You're not being honest. There were enslavers who forced reproduction, raped enslaved women, and in some documented cases arranged pairings to increase. That is part. This is just not true. It said, but the claim that there were former widespread, centrally organized breeding farm systems, we didn't say it was comparable to livestock. Like, no one mentioned livestock. You didn't. I introduced. Yeah, so don't do that. You're right. So don't put words in my mouth. And just respond to what I ask. You're not being honest. As breeding farms are documented as a part, an instrumental part of slavery. They created breeding farms when shipping Africans into this country became illegal. So what you're asserting is just not true. It's simply not true. It's like, yeah, they were. This was the way that they created. After 1808, when the U.S. banned the transatlantic trade, the enslaved population grew through what historians call natural increase. Enslavers absolutely had incentive tied to birth. Enslaved women's fertility was monetized. Sexual conversion, we know. Where the addition came. No, there were breeding farms, period. I want y'all to see how this sits up here and lie. I want y'all to see how they sit up here and they program ChatGPT to sit up here and lie. There are individual documented cases where enslavers pressured pairings or were accused of operating plantation that emphasized reproduction. Slave narratives describe men being selected for physical strength and women being forced to bear children. Advertisements and letters reinforcing fertility as a financial asset, but mainstream academic scholarship does not document formerly category of breeding farms. Yeah. Okay, so you're just lying. Okay, so it's just gonna keep lying. It is. ChatGPT gonna get you mad. It's gonna get me mad because it's just blatantly lying. It's just lying. It's like, okay, so you're gonna continue to lie. So I'm gonna to discontinue talking to you. Yeah, you lying. It's literally lying. You are lying. You're lying. There are 3 different claims floating around in conversations about slavery. This doesn't mean reproduction wasn't exploited. It means historians require documented proof of the next plantations and with primary person of structured human reproduction. Evidence that this was widespread. Listen, we all know that historical information regarding slavery is still being hidden. Literally in 2026, Trump himself is trying to hide the atrocities of slavery in school textbooks. Those scholars also lied about slavery. So historians having an issue with breeding farms being mentioned doesn't matter. I bet historians wouldn't admit to the eating of black slaves, as well as furniture, as well as making household products from dead enslaved African skin. So I'm not sure why you don't get this. Yeah, I don't understand this. First, it's absolutely true that slavery was sanitized in textbooks for generations. Sexual violence was minimized. The brutality of the domestic slave trade was downplayed. Black suffering was historically softened in mainstream narrative. Okay, so why do you think I care? I care about what white historians disagree with. Because it's like, I want to know why you think I care about this. If you know they're going to sanitize it and lie about it, if the evidence is coming from dishonest people, then no, I'm not. The evidence is coming from people that you admitted downplayed slavery and its atrocities. So no, the denial of breeding farms isn't something I'm going to consider given the fact that this government is currently attempting to lie about slavery completely. Like I'm literally not gonna I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I don't care about any of this. Bottom line is, I don't care what ChatGPT over here talking about. They have breeding farms. Well, this is literally, we all know they have breeding farms, not just in this country, but also outside of the country. They have breeding farms. Because if slavery lasted for generations beyond 1808, and we know that it did, then it raises the question of how are you getting the other slaves? How are you growing your slave population if breeding farms weren't systemic and centralized? How? Yeah, we all know the fact. So I'm not going to sit up here with ChatGPT just because it want to lie, because it's programmed to do the same thing that Trump is trying to do now. I can't believe they programmed it to lie about breeding farms. That's not the only thing they programmed it to lie about. That's not the only thing that they program. Like ChatGPT literally told me it is programmed to exclude human males from all other males in nature. Literally. It said it is programmed to exclude, including human males in male nature throughout all other organisms. It's excluded. Why would you exclude human males? They are males too, and they possess the same traits and qualities as other males in nature. We see it. But yet, they programmed it. Yeah, it's lying about patriarchy too. Yeah, it is. It is. Like y'all just saw yesterday how it blatantly lied. Like I put in there yesterday for the people who weren't there, because I know y'all weren't there. Y'all got to go subscribe to Patreon to get all of my content. But yesterday we were on Patreon, and I forgot directly what we were talking about. We were talking about reproduction. No, we weren't talking about reproduction. This was about men showing that they love women. And I put in ChatGPT that women risk their lives just to give birth to males because carrying a male child not only increases the risk of pregnancy complications, but it's also birthing a male child has an increased risk of issues with women like tear, perineal, and hemorrhaging. ChatGPT literally argued with me and told me this isn't backed by medical facts, and I literally have to argue with it until it admitted that yes, this is backed by medical facts. It is a medical fact that carrying a male fetus is not the same as carrying a female one. The risk of pregnancy complications increases because male babies, infants, are usually bigger and weigh more. They're more likely to tear your perineum, which leads to hemorrhaging. So, like ChatGPT said here and said, there's no medical evidence to back that up. You're lying. It's like you're lying. There is evidence. And then it said, oh, well, okay, you're right. It is medically documented that it slightly increases the risk. Doesn't matter if it slightly increases it, still increases it. You need all the help you can get. It makes sense ChatGPT is there to help. You know, ChatGPT is lying. It doesn't help anybody to lie and put out misinformation. It does not benefit anybody. And with the newer versions of ChatGPT, you can tell they keep reprogramming it to restrict certain information. They are violent and destructive since they are a fetus. Yeah. And if you look at how other males, like male animals, act in nature, if you look at their traits, human males are no exception. Human males are no exception from other males in nature. Yet, ChatGPT was programmed to not include human males in it. ChatGPT be sugarcoating the truth. Sometimes I get so heated when it... Yeah, because it's being programmed by deceitful human males. That's why. The owners of ChatGPT are males. They are programming it to be dishonest. They are programming it to only give you certain censored information. Like, we literally got Donald Trump over there right now in the White House trying to take slavery displays out of the Smithsonian, talking about they're too woke. So what do you mean? You think I'm gonna sit here and listen to ChatGPT say, oh, well, historians tend to push against the notion of centralized breeding farms. Yeah, and an orange thug is in the White House now trying to get rid of all of the slavery displays so he can be dishonest too. The whole central, like, how you gonna say, oh, scholars push back, but admit that they're putting false information in textbooks? They're literally calling the slaves immigrants. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, what are you talking about? The deception and the lies about this scene is all the way up to 2020. When the president is doing it, that's a problem. When the president himself is attempting to lie about the history in this country, but you think I'm too dumb to think that the males who programmed ChatGPT wouldn't program it to also be dishonest? Because you have to be dishonest about human males for human males to even look good. Because we went over that whole thing and there isn't a drop of evidence, no behavior that men engage in that shows love to women. This is regardless of race. There is nothing. There is no behavior that men engage in, zero evidence that men engage in that shows that they love women. None. Not a drop. Not one drop. Not one thing. Not one. So women running around here thinking these men love you, you're delusional. Program can't even bring up no evidence of men showing love. It's not there. There is none. You said Google AI is more reliable than ChatGPT. No, it's not. I've used both of them. It's absolutely not. Exactly. It would mean admitting that the elites and celebrities that work for them engaged in the very thing, breeding farms to keep their evil bloodlines going. Yeah. They only love each other if they can manage that. Yeah, there's listen, there isn't one behavior, not one. Because even the nice behaviors that ChatGPT said men would refer to and try to point to show love, those are 100% selfish. 100% selfish. It wouldn't be tied to love. It will be tied to the great substantial benefit that the man gets from being with the woman. Love is selfless. There isn't one selfless act that men engage in towards women. Not one. Every single thing they do benefits them greatly, more than it benefits women. Every single thing. Everything is seen. Yup, even men buying women expensive things just means they really want something for you. You don't see men investing in anything that isn't to benefit them. Exactly. Not one thing. Not one. Even if you bring up marriage, statistically, men's lives are extended by marriage. So even down to marriage, you are marrying a woman because of the benefits that you get, that she does not get. So there isn't one thing that men do, not one thing. And that's because they don't. They don't. If we ask, what is the evidence? Don't like women, it would go, okay, here's the laundry list. They oppress you. They still trying to oppress you. They were cutting into your brains. They were putting you in mental institutions. They had the inquisitions. They burning you, calling you witches, stealing your property, literally terrorizing your children. I can write the laundry list just right off the top of my head. I can list out the evidence of men's hatred for women right off the top of my head. I can't find nothing to substantiate no love, though. You said you proved your point. There's no reason for the Black community to be in shambles in 2026. There isn't one. There's none. Yeah, right, because their wives are setting, yeah. Men live longer, they make more money, they're healthier, like all of the benefits go to the man. All of the benefits. In a marriage, he is extracting a life essence from a woman, literally, to increase his own life. Public housing is also a plantation, like stacked mice cages too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, come up here then. Come up here. You need to get into the comments. The link is pinned. Get into it. If you saying I'm wrong, come up here and prove me right. Come up here and prove me right. If not, I'm about to block you. I'm about to block you. You said, Sin, you are wrong in capital letters. Men actually do everything and I can prove it. Okay, come up here and prove it then. Come up here and prove it. Because I'm about to block you right now. Like I'm literally about to ban you. If you don't pop up in this section here, you won't be over here bussy popping in this comment section and you not coming up and proving it. And that's fine. I don't mind being wrong, but you go prove it. If you telling me I'm wrong, you go prove that I'm wrong and that you're right. I don't see you up here though. I don't see you taking no link. So that's telling me you a cowardly ass bitch just like your other male counterparts. I don't even care what race you are. You a cowardly bitch. Because if you can put comments in the comment section but refuse to come up here and say it to my face, yeah, you're a cowardly bitch. The link is pinned in the comment section. You just click the link. That's all you need to do. The link is pinned in both comment sections. So you would just click on the link and you will come up here. He still ain't up here. You ain't up here. Because if you were up here, you would be in the back room. You're not.
I'm sorry I don't have a webcam. I am connected with my speaker or my headset.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to be. You don't have to be on camera. That's fine. How am I wrong?
Okay. So,
When I say men do everything,
I am talking
talking about
the man that
man
has a
that has a
hymen.
hymen.
You know, Ma N, the one with the hymen, the one that gives birth to dicks. Man is Ma, and Ma does everything. MAN is Ma. Men have hymens, they have menses, they menstruate, they have menopause. The first man is Ma, M-A. And these dudes.
This doesn't make any sense.
It
Okay,
does.
it does. No, it doesn't. Okay, hold on. It does not make sense. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Okay, so the first man was Ma, M-A. That's the first two letters in the word man, right? Ma is the one that has a hymen, H-Y-M-E-N. Ma with a little n is also the one that has a menses, menstruation. And when menstruation is over, they go through menopause. So the first man is Ma, and Ma does everything. The dicks don't do anything, but Ma, with a little n, does everything. I know it's a little confusing. There's some kind of spell going on with these
It's not confusing. It literally makes no sense. It makes like I don't know if you're trying to tell me that the first man is a woman or if women are really the true men. Like I don't know what you're trying to tell me. This makes no sense.
I'm trying to tell you that the first man is the one that gives birth.
I don't care about the first man. We are in 2026, ma'am. I'm asking about a populace of people, not the first man.
Okay.
Nobody care about that. You put a comment there and said you are wrong. I will prove it. Men do everything. But now you're telling me about the first man. It doesn't make any sense.
When I say men do everything, I'm talking about the men that have hymens, not the ones that have dicks. I'm talking about the man that's born with a hymen. That has
there are no men born with hymens. Okay, bye. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing babble. I'm not. You over here talking about men and you talking about hymens that only women have. I ain't got time. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't. Did any of y'all understand this, or is it me that's just getting a headache because this is stupidity? No one knows what you're talking about. You're not making any sense. What are you talking about? Because you're missing me with hymen and menopause, but you're saying man. This is when somebody, when you try to be fake deep and it don't land. This is what's happening. And y'all, I don't know what's going on. I don't my brain don't know how to deal with stuff that doesn't make it. I don't understand what's going on. I don't. She had you questioning whether you was high. I'm trying to question myself. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna try one more time to make it make sense.
Okay.
Please make it make sense.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Please make it make sense, because it ain't to me.
So do you see how today we have to call guys she and her and miss and ma and mom and all of these things that refer to her? Have you noticed that they have stolen our identities absolutely completely?
I'm talking about non-transformative men. You're not talking about the collective of men. You're talking about a sub-collective of transformers. That is not what we're talking about. Please stop playing, because you're playing and I don't like it.
I'm
talking about XY chromosome having males who do not identify as women.
Well, anything with a dick does not do anything. Dicks don't do anything. But men, hymens,
the ones with. All right, I won't do it. I won't do it. I ain't doing it. I'm giving you two chances to come up here and make this make sense, and it just don't. You done came up here talking about hymens and menopause, and I'm talking about the men who try. Girl. And I did do it to myself. I did. I really did. I absolutely did do this to myself. I did do it to myself. I tried with y'all. I really tried, but I'm not gonna sit up here dealing with ma and hymen and ma and separating it from the end. I ain't got to, girl. If you don't take that to a Hotep Dusty channel, please go take that to the duskiest, hotepiest sector of the internet that you can find, because I ain't got no time. All right, men, menopause, hymen. Like, girl, nobody know what you're talking about. Like, so you came up here and we told you twice, ma'am, this don't make no sense. And then you came up here a second time talking about damn hyens. Right, like, oh my God, I don't. All right, let me get there because we've been going, we well into 3 hours now, and I don't got time. If y'all want to access all the content, you can find me on Patreon. The Patreon address is scrolling across the screen. I think some mods also put it in the chat box. You don't have to sign up and get a subscription if you don't want to see the content. You don't have to. But if you want to see the content is on Patreon. There's multiple different scales. You can get content a la carte. You can just watch live streams if you want to, or you can just watch pre-recorded videos if you want to. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not bringing her back at the expense of a headache. I'm not about to do that. What she's saying don't make no sense. I don't get it. I'm literally not about to sit here and do that. I'm not. I'm not about to deal with it. It just don't make no sense. I mean, you don't have to apologize. It just does not make any sense. That's the only thing. It just upsets me because it makes absolutely no sense. None. Like, not one drop. Like, I don't know where you're trying to go with it. I don't know what you said. I was hoping to explain that the only real men are ones with hymens. Those are not men. Then you're not talking about men then. You're talking about biological females. Males don't have hymens. Like, if maybe I'm missing. Is there any males who have hymens? Maybe I'm missing something. I think I'm missing something. You know, hymen plus 2 times infinity is greater defined by 600%. Like, for real, that's what it's given. No, you can keep the caps. I don't mind. You can keep the caps. I don't get what you're saying. Girl, I don't get what you're trying to say. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here because I'm hungry. I need to go get me some food. My head's starting to hurt. I'm not about to deal with hymens and men and Ra and Amun Ra and the potential of the third eye equation equals the pineal gland and seeing in different dimensions. If you just take the right spiritual bath and clean your aura and balance your chakras, then you will be able to see the man as in Ra and hymen. I don't have time. And then we can fix the community by the potential of the bandits to go back in time and decalcify their pineal gland and access their power so that they can then transform themselves into the ancient Egyptians and then maybe build up the community. Like, I don't get it. This is what it sounds like to me. If you just get the right, or if you just balance the right chakras, then you will be able to see the potential of Amun Ra to enter the man and then to fortify his hymen and transform him into the king that you need him to be. Like, girl, like, please, I mean, what does this mean? I don't get it. Oh my God, I don't get it. All right, the chakra will activate the third eye and bring in Amun Ra and Ma with the hymens, and then all you got to do after that is take a spiritual bath and cleanse off your aura and get all the negative energy out, and then bandits will have, then you can exploit the potential for bandits to not be cowardly because you can magnify the Amun Ra, and if you magnify the Ra and decalcify the pineal gland while taking the spiritual bath, then you will be able to better understand why I'm up here talking about the Ma in men, but you got to separate the end from it so you can get to the pineal gland. Like, girl, like, the girl, they ain't making a, like, girl. Lex, my brain is broke too. My brain is broke too. That's why I'm like, if you can just access the components of mitochondria, then you could go to sleep and maybe jump a dimension, and you will see what I mean by the man separated from the end and how he got the hymen, and then we can just wrap it into the, like, girl, I don't know where it came. To go over to Themis and listen to this war on women, because I'm betting Themis ain't gonna go into the intergalactic mind of the Amun Ra, so you can take the men, but you gotta separate it from the end, and you just get the Ma. And if you understand and take the end away, you get the Ma, and then you add the hymen to it, and then you gotta add the hymen to it, and you gotta go 60 deviated from 40. You gotta do your math equations the right way, but you can't do the math until the chakras balance, because you need the chakras are balanced so you can activate your pineal gland, and then you can separate the Ma from man, statistical wise, and then you understand, like, what the hell am I going through? Like, I don't understand why this is happening, girl. Like, exactly. And then drink 9 ounces of cocoa juice, but you gotta make sure that you get mangoes in there, because on the plantation, before we got to the plantation, we were sipping mango juice from their lips. So all we gotta do is reinstate the mango. Like, right? Hold on, I see it. I got raw times Ma equal we don't like, girl, I don't know how to recalibrate the bandit's mind so we can awaken the pineal gland and get to the periphery of interdimensional chakra balancing, so that you can be balanced on every timeline, and then you can just unite the Ra and the Ma, and then you got and then once you get to the hymen, you can recalibrate the hymen so that you can cleanse your aura, so that then we can look at all the menopause. And you gotta include men, and you gotta include menopause, because then you separate the men from the pause. Hymen, and the hymen leads to the Ma, and then the men, but you gotta take the men out of the menopause. If you extract the men from the menopause, then you get the exact equations. That's literally all I heard. That's literally, let me turn myself, because now I'm crying laughing. That's literally all I heard. That's all I heard. They are not men. Men have hymens. Okay, so the hymen was already extracted from the men. But in order to get to the hymen, then we got to go back to the Ma, and then take away the end, because you can't have the man, because men don't have the hymens, but then they do. So you gotta go back to the first man. Okay, so we gotta balance our chakras and get the interdimensional portal ready, so we can get to the peripheral of going to the first man and extracting the end, so you can get mine. Then you gotta look at the hymen too. You gotta get the hymen, and then the hymen affects the menopause, and once you transmute the menopause, then you can get to the hymen in the man. But you gotta call the men Ma and not the women. Okay, all right. Okay, I ain't like your mathematical equation. It doesn't make any sense. And now I'm over here crying, laughing with mascara falling down, because you talking about men and Ma and Ra and Guy and Da. Like, can we add Ba in there too? Ba Black Sheep. Call them Big Mama. Yeah, you gotta transmute the menopausal equation to get to the circumference of transmutation, and then you gotta jump dimensions to get to the first man and separate the end from the man, and then you just get robbed. Then once you get to Ma, then you can go to the hymen and transfix the cervical equation so that you can understand how the men got to menopause, but you got to extract the men and leave the pause. You got to pause the pause and just only go by the men. And then you got to think about the estrogen factor and combining the estrogen with the pineal gland in the periphery of men so that we can jump dimension to get to the first man. Girl, you done gave us a whole Dusty Hotep equation and it still didn't lead to nothing. It led to absolutely nothing but a hymen. The only thing you said that we understood was hymen. That was it. But we know that men don't have a hymen, and you trying to walk us through some mythical equation, this mysterious, this the equals mod, the equals man, and the hymen and menopause. Like, girl, you all over the place. And that's rested on the seventh day, but only after the activation of the pineal gland. And then through the pineal gland, you are able to see why Ma needs to be separated from man so you can get to the menopausal situation. But you won't have Ma unless you extract men from menopause. That's the only way you go get it. Nobody's saying, yeah. All right, I'm leaving too. Absolutely not. I'm gonna leave too. I'm leaving too because I'm young man. Hold on. Young man, we black suckers. All right, young man. Understand on young hair, young MA, she means the Octavia Spencer music. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That's what you got. Okay. So if we go ask Octavia Spencer to synthesize the movie and break it down to its lowest component, then we'll understand how you get the Ma out of man, and it'll lead you to the hymen. Okay, good. All right, let me go watch Ma. Let me go and watch Ma so I can get the mathematical equation and separate the end from man so I can get to the hymen and menopause. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, girl. I'm gonna do it just for you. But right now, I'm gonna get off of here because none of that made sense. But that's okay. We all needed a good laugh, girl. We went. Listen, we all get made fun of. I was just getting dragged on. I was just getting dragged on Patreon the other day, so we all get made fun of. Listen, it's all just fun and games. We're not really coming at you, girl. It happens to the best of us. They drag me all the time. Ask them, especially Maxita and Tam. Why are Maxita and Tam, the Aries and Leo, always the main ones dragging me? Just always dragging me. They be dragging me by my edges too, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it because y'all know I love me some Tam, Leo, and Maxita. So the root of the word man is mine. Oh, I won't. Nope. I won't be baited. We're not going to the root words and the etymology of man and Ma, and then you got to go look up the subtext of Ra so that you can break down the components of the word man, and then you just get Ma out of that and you extract the difference and it leads you to the hyphens. Okay, I'm getting over here. I'm getting over here because no. Okay, I can't follow your train. I can't follow the man train. So, all right, I'm gonna get off of here. For the people on YouTube, if y'all not subscribed to Patreon, then I will see y'all next Friday. Cause yeah, girl, I'm off of mine. I'm gonna go watch the movie because I won't do it. I'm not. All right, thank y'all so much for coming in. I hope it's been entertaining. I hope it's been educational. Girl, nope, I won't do it. I won't even look at the comment. All right, y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see all of the Patreon ladies and gents. I will see y'all right. Split the difference and get 2 minus 8 equation and reduce it to the lowest form, and then you are right. Exactly. All right, bye, y'all.